Hi, welcome to Parent Talk Snippets. I'm Margaret King Ahmed. I'm the Districtwide Parent Educator. And in the District of Dearborn, I go through the different schools providing parenting classes for parents. My guest with us today is Randa Ajami. And Randa took classes here at Cotter, where we're actually doing the filming today. And I asked her to come on the show to kind of talk about some of the skills that we learned and we talked about during our parenting class. So, Rhonda, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank
And
you for
thanks.
having me.
Yes, thank you for being a guest. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation that you had at one time, what you were telling us during class time, about traveling, going on this trip that you'd gone on with your family, and that there was a little bit of a struggle with the kids and them just kind of going along with the program or being happy about traveling. And you had learned a skill through the parenting that you found worked for you in those kind of situations when you're traveling, you're taking a long distance trip or something. Can you tell us a little bit about that skill and can you tell us a little bit about that adventure?
When we first used to travel with the kids, it was always my responsibility to make sure they were entertained in the car. During class, I learned that I gave them the responsibility to see what they wanted to do in the car instead of me dictating everything to them. So it was their responsibility to make sure that they don't forget what they need and to make sure what's in the car is what they want to do during that 3-4 hour drive.
Okay. And so that really minimized the stress. And then how do you think the kids felt when you put that responsibility more on them and let go of it?
To be totally honest, they felt very like they achieved something, like it was their thing to do. It was no longer mommy and daddy telling us what to do.
So they felt like they had some kind of autonomy,
Yes.
and so they felt more empowered.
Yes.
Do you think that translates into other things in their life that they do if they're being held accountable or held responsible?
Very much so. I took that as skill to our daily life, where I no longer would tell them what to take to school or remind them what they needed to have every day. I would do the checklist you
Oh
taught us.
yeah, the check yourself.
Check yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So how would that sound? What would that sound like if a parent were to use that today? Going to the kids are getting ready for school, and typically, what do we say to the kids? Do you have what?
Did you check yourself?
Well, yeah. Do you?
So instead
Yes.
of me saying, do you have your backpack? Do you have your pencils? Do you have your pens and all that? All I had to do was stand at the door and ask them, check yourself.
Right.
And automatically they would remember what they need to have with them.
Okay. So another empowerment statement for them. So the check yourself, and then what 5 things would you like to have with you when you travel? You decide. So they get to be decision makers here, right? And what do we know about kids learning to be decision makers? What does that do for them?
It empowers them. And during their school day or their everyday life, they know that the decision they made was their responsibility.
Right. So the blame game is gone.
It's no longer a mommy and daddy.
Yes, right. And we know as parents. How many children do you have now?
Two.
Two. Okay. And what are their ages?
They're 12 and 5 now.
12 and 5 now. And when you took the class, that was just
Last year.
last year. Yeah. So you're finding that those skills even carried over in everyday life from one year to the next. Do you think that you would come back for another class at some point, just as a refresher?
Yes, I would definitely come back, and I already told most of the people I know that they should take the class too.
Okay, very good. I appreciate that. So that's just a little snippet of our parent talk. And I thank you so much, Rhonda, for coming in
Thank
and
you.
taking time out of your schedule to share the information with other parents that might be participants in the future. So shukran, thank you so much. And if you'd like to know more about the parenting classes that are offered here in the Dearborn schools, I would like for you to call me at 827-8788. You can also check the blog on the Dearborn website under Parent Talk. And thank you so much for tuning in. Look forward to having you check us out again next time. Thanks. Thanks. Welcome to Parent Talk Snippets. I'm Margaret King Ahmed. I'm the district-wide parent educator for parenting and teacher talk, but today we're talking about parent talk. And we are in well, Cotter School and their library. And my guest today is Saja. And Saja was kind enough to take some time out of her schedule to come and visit us at this taping to talk to you about the parenting class that she took here at Cotter. So let me go ahead and introduce Saja. Saja, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Saja was like very interested in this class. And when she came to the class, she learned a lot of skills. There's 21 skills, right? There's 21 skills that the parents walk away with as tools for their parenting. And so Saja was kind enough to come here to talk to you a little bit about some of the skills that she learned and how it changed things for her at home. So Saja, tell me a little bit about how many kids you have.
I have three.
Three kids. How the ages?
9, 4, and 5.
Okay. Now, when you left the classes and you left with your certificate and you were all ready to parent
And the book.
and the book with all the information in it,
Yes.
and what would you say was one of the skills that you felt really you took away with you and you started to implement it right away at home with the children?
First one is making a choice.
Okay.
It's their choice if they want, if and the consequence they have to for themselves. It's like their choice. They made the choice to follow the rules or not follow the rules.
And so there's a consequence that follows.
Yes.
And the consequence is related, reasonable, respectful.
Yes.
It's not the kind of language that a parent would use with the kid. Well, if you don't, well, let's do an example. So if you don't put your shoes away, you get no dessert.
Yes.
So we have to make sure it's related. That's
Yes.
not related. So if you choose to put your shoes away, you're choosing to have them for tomorrow.
Yes.
Deciding not to do that,
You're not gonna find them
those
tomorrow.
shoes. Exactly. So go ahead, give me another couple skills.
The other one, you decide.
Oh, yeah. Now,
You
how do
decide.
you use that?
For example, if they're acting out, they don't want to eat.
Okay.
It's you decide when do you want to eat.
Okay.
But this may be going to take time from time,
Ah,
from your activity, free time. So it's your choice.
Yes.
Tell me, do you want to eat now?
yeah.
Or do you want to lose time for a snack or playtime or TV time?
Okay.
It's your choice.
Choice.
You decide.
Okay. So the decision has to do with if you decide to eat now, you're deciding to have more time. So you're
Yes.
deciding to have more time for
Yes.
later, for play,
Yes.
right? Or
Yes.
this game or this book that you wanted to
Yes.
read.
Yes.
Choosing not to eat now, you'll be deciding to have less time.
Time.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And so, how do you feel the kids respond to that? How do you think they feel about that when you allow them that decision-making
Well, at first
ability?
it was hard,
Mhm.
but then now it's like I'm seeing them making decisions in other things.
Oh,
Like they know what they want to do. They know it's their responsibility. They're being responsible. They know their time is limit, and
okay.
it's up to them to have as much as they want. Like for example, if they follow direction, they'll have extra time, extra playtime, extra dessert.
Right. So it's the consequence
Yes.
that will get them that.
Yes.
Because a consequence can be both good or bad, right? Or negative or positive. I really like to say that instead of good or bad. So, so if you're choosing to eat now, you're deciding to have more time. That's the consequence, right? It's the cause and effect,
Yes,
right?
and they get it now. They
Yes.
know they don't challenge me for time. They don't whine if I don't give them extra time. They
Ah,
know it's their choice, their decision. That's what like they understand it now better.
good. They understand that concept.
Yes,
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that's worked out so well for you.
so much. And the book is very helpful. In case I missed anything, I just go back to the book
And review.
and review. I really reviewed it more than one time. It's really
Okay.
very helpful.
Oh, good. And if you want to take another class, a refresher class, you're always welcome to do that. And the classes are free, right?
Yes.
They're free to the parents. And I
Yes.
think that we should take advantage of that, don't you?
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
after the class, the group talk, it's like free therapy for me as a mom. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that
Not
too
too
much,
much.
not too hard. So when I compare myself with the mommies, it's
Yeah.
like really a fresh time I can have once a week. It's really
Okay.
good.
So it's a support. You feel like
Yes.
supported because the parents, all of us go through a lot of the same things, right?
Yes.
We have some of the same similar concerns
Yeah,
and
and we go
issues.
hard on ourselves. Are we
Yes,
too much? Are we
not
like
too
less?
much. Right,
Yes.
right.
So it's really
Good,
helpful.
good.
And the friendship we make, it's really
Oh,
nice.
the
I really,
camaraderie, the
yes.
support.
Yes.
I have to agree. I have to agree
We
with you.
had
I
fun.
think that's the highlight for me as well. And
Yes.
to have you come back and talk about it so
Yes.
that other people can hear how it benefits
It's really good.
parents.
It's really good. It's not a waste of time. It's very beneficial for the parents, for the moms, especially the mom, and it's very good for the dads too,
Yeah,
because they
because
could be a team together.
yes, and we want more of that. We
Yes,
want
they
the
should.
husbands and the wives on the same team, kind of using the same language to create the
Yes.
same kind of positive outcomes.
Yes.
Because we typically know kids can play each other
I
or play
know.
parents against each
Yes.
other. Well,
I'll go on mommy's
I
team.
I
Yeah.
said no, but now go ask dad, and he
Yes.
says yes, and
Yeah.
yes, you're right. So
It's
we
really good.
help kind of diminish the struggles
Yes.
that parents find.
Yes.
Typically, parents are finding at
It
home.
makes my life easier.
Ah,
Less yelling,
yes,
less frustration,
yes.
anger.
Oh,
I
yeah.
set the rules, they follow,
Yep.
and if they don't, there's consequence.
Consequences. Yep.
And there's the talk, the words I use that I learned from the booklet in the book in the class.
Yes.
It makes it easier for them to understand. Okay,
Oh,
mom is not mad because she doesn't like me. It's because my choice, my
yes.
decision,
Y-
that my actions.
Actions. Yes. And he's responsible or she's responsible for her
Yes,
actions and behaviors and outcomes.
yes.
Oh, Sajad, thank you so
Thank
much for taking
you.
the time
Thank you
out of your
for your
busy
help.
schedule.
Thank you.
Yes. So if you'd like to know more about the parenting classes, you can call me at 827-8788, or you could visit the iBlog under the Dearborn Schools website and go to Margaret King Parent Talk. And please join us. We'd love to have you. We have a good time. We have a good time. We learn a
Yes.
lot. We share a lot and we support each other. So come and join us. Thank you for tuning in.